time we blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
What's up, guys? Today we are doing a Q&A session. I reached out to you on Instagram asking, what do you want to know? Do you have any questions for me personally or about tricking? I want to help you along your journey, and if you have any questions for me, I want to answer them in any way I can. This is Q&A session number 1. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to see more of this. But with that said, let's get started. A lot of you might not know this, but I did 8 years of competitive Taekwondo, and I broke a lot of boards along the way. Whenever you want to kick a target with a roundhouse kick, you want to hit it with your instep, right here, right at the top of your foot. Funny story, I actually broke Dom's wrist with a snafu swipe, which is a round kick, but with an inverted one with a twist at the end. But I was trying to kick a board in his hand, but I round kicked his wrist with my instep and I broke it. And I kicked his wrist so hard, the board that he was holding broke as well. So if you want to kick a board with a roundhouse kick, kick it with your instep. But, kick the board, not the holder. I'm sorry, Dom, I really am. Honestly, it was amazing, and it's probably why I'm able to train as much as I am now. You see, in 2006, my mom and dad opened up a gym called Kinetic Youth Academy. It was an acrobatics gym that utilized both of their coaching talents, and that's where I spent a good majority of my childhood and adolescence, in a gym training. And I would train whatever my parents wanted to train or whatever they were teaching in their classes. So this would be tumbling, diverse acrobatics, circus skills, and a bunch of other things. I loved growing up in a gym, and it's why I am who I am now, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. It was amazing. I do not keep a training schedule of any kind, frankly. I train pretty much every day, and what I do is I listen to my body. If my muscles are feeling weak in a certain area, I know I need to condition them with maybe some body weight exercises. I might go to the gym and lift some weights, or I might just do some other resistance training. Or if my body is really tight, I'll stretch out for like 2 or 3 hours sometimes. I really try and listen to my body, but no, I don't have a day-by-day schedule where like Monday I trick, Tuesday I condition, Thursday I stretch. I don't really do that. Rather, I do a little bit of everything every day, and I try and moderate that as best I can by listening to my body and really focusing on my health and my well-being. Frankly, this is a complicated question. Because of what I said earlier, I pretty much grew up in a gym. My parents were coaches throughout their entire adult life, and because of that, they kind of always coached me and my sister and all of their other students. I learned a lot from that, and all of that translated really well into my tricking. And I'm talking like at 3 years old, my parents would take me to work with them, and they just worked in a gym, so I'd hang out all day, and what do you do as a kid? You just entertain yourself by training. But I started tricking as a discipline about 7 or 8 years ago, and that's when I started really latching onto it and diving into it head first. I really fell in love with this sport, but before I did, I had so much other stuff. Like, I also grew up in that gym, but I did 8 years of classical Taekwondo, so I had a huge background before I ever started tricking. That said, it's been about 7 or 8 years. Yeah, honestly, I almost always train alone. And I guess it's for a lot of reasons. First, I'm filming, of course, so there's not really any space for someone else to kind of tag along and follow. Unless they're like being featured in the video, which I absolutely love doing. I love the collaborations I've been able to make. But I also train alone, probably because I train pretty intensely. When I'm at a session, I usually take up the floor the majority of the time. I don't like to take big breaks between my passes, and that can be pretty aggressive. And at an open gym setting where a bunch of people want to train, sometimes that's just not a good situation. Plus, I like to train outside, and it's really nice to get some alone time. Also, when it comes to conditioning and stretching, I almost feel that those are my responsibility. So I do them, again, alone most of the time. But I do find enjoyable ways to do them. Like I'll stretch, watch some TV with my girlfriend, or I will eat some good food and cook a good dinner. I really try and make training and anything related to getting better as enjoyable as I can. But that said, I do it mostly alone. My biggest tips for beginners are often just take care of your body and make sure you're progressing at the right rate. So often I see trickers rush to get the cool tricks and they wreck their bodies along the way. I'm talking like broken wrists, sprained ankles, torn tendons. It's really ugly. It breaks my heart when I get these DMs of athletes who have just hurt themselves because they were trying to rush to learn a cool trick. So if you're a beginning tricker, avoid that altogether. Please take care of your body. It breaks my heart, honest to God. When it comes to mental boundaries, they're almost all individual. And I don't mean individual as in individual people, I mean individual as in each mental boundary is individual within itself due to the context that surrounds it. Like a lot of people have backflip fear because it's a rational fear. You should be scared to do a backflip if you've never done it before. The best way to get through that barrier is to just work a slow and steady progression. But you can get through other barriers as well. Like for example, after I hurt my knee, after I tore my ACL, I really struggled to commit to triples. And I had to get stronger. Only once I felt like my body was strong enough could I commit to the triples. And that's how I got through that mental barrier. Guys, they're all individual, so tackle them on a case-by-case basis and figure out what the rationale is. Why are you scared, and how can you get over it? I do a bunch of stuff to work out for tricking, but for the most part, I just trick. Honestly, I probably keep about a 60-40 ratio of tricking-based workouts where I'm drilling a skill, I'm just doing some kicks, or completely other random things. Like I'll climb a tree, I'll play basketball, I'll do some cardio, or whatever else I'm feeling like. Most of the workouts that I do are pretty simple as well. I like basic exercises, push-ups, squats. Pistol squats are one of my personal favorites, but I don't like complicated workouts, and I often don't do anything that's really out of the ordinary. Honestly, I do a lot of calisthenics, a lot of cross training, and a ton of tricking. Yes, completely. Stretching the middle split is not fun, but this is the stretch that really helped me unlock it, and that is the wall middle split. I'll show you how to do one right now, but you honestly just do a middle split against the wall and you relax. Personally, I like to watch Netflix or play a video game while I'm doing a wall split just to kill the time, but the longer you're in that position, the more your legs will be able to relax, and because gravity is doing most of the work, you can just kind of chill. Okay, let me show you what I mean. Oh, these pants were not built for stretching. But no, you just kind of do this and you hang out. It's kind of boring if you don't have anything to do. Yep. If you're a beginner level tricker, I wouldn't focus on getting over your fear. Rather, I'd use your fear as a compass to guide you as you progress. If you are scared to do a trick, like pooping your pants scared, you probably shouldn't do it. I feel that way about certain tricks. I feel that way about double backflip. I'm terrified of double backflip. That's a rational fear. Every other time I do it, I over-rotate and I land on my back. So it's probably not the best time to do it on floor. That's my fear acting as a compass, telling me, don't go that way. Go this other way. Keep training the stuff you feel comfortable with. Keep doing that double back on trampoline where I'm not pooping my pants scared. I'm just a little scared. You know that healthy fear that you have? You should have a healthy fear, like knowing that you could get hurt, but knowing that if you do it, it's gonna be cool. Nothing really could majorly go wrong unless it does, which you should keep in mind. There is rational fear and irrational fear. If you're having rational fear of, I could hurt myself, that's fine. But if that blows into this irrational, you think you're gonna get paralyzed by doing a cartwheel, well, that doesn't really make sense. You need to balance this. Use fear as a compass. If you're scared to work a skill, just work the prerequisite. Work whatever prerequisite you're comfortable with. And often in tricking, you can work that back to some really basic skills. Like if you're scared of doing the backflip, do 100 backwards rolls. By the end of it, you'll have a lot more awareness and you'll be way more comfortable going backwards. And that's honestly what I would recommend for beginners and fear. Use it as a compass. Let it guide you along your tricking journey. Thank you guys so much for watching, and a special thank you to everybody who sent in your questions. Guys, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this video, and if you want to see more Q&A content in the future. I want to help you guys get to know me, and I want to do that in, whatever way possible. So if you guys have questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you so much for watching, and have a lovely day.